So tell me, what do the cards reveal? What's the truth they conceal? She's the high priestess with the key to every question that's haunting me. A lover's heart or a warning from the past. In the tyrant's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place.
In the tarot's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place. The moonlight glows, the veil is thin. Lunar affinity will call again. Thanks for walking in the light, where guides whisper pure insight. Until we meet, the cards will wait. Mystic whispers guide your fate. With every message our spirits send, for cosmic dreams our souls transcend.
Hey friends, sorry I'm a little bit late tonight. Wow, it's been an unexpected day. I've just lost track of time. I don't even know what time it is right now. Hopefully everyone's having a good middle of the night. Happy Saturday. It's like 12:30 in the morning. I'm only accepting new donations at this time. Or sorry, not new donations, only donations at this time. I'm not doing free reads this evening. We have a couple people on our donation list, and then I'm going to have to cut it off. First up, we have James, then we have SB, and then we have Eliana. So let me go ahead and update that list really quickly. Let's see. Donations. Hey, Emily, how are you? All right, so first up on the list, we've got James. I'm very chaotic tonight. I don't know what happens, but like, I feel like even though Mercury retrograde is done, I still feel a little discombobulated. All right, James, then SB, and then Eliana. I am going to close the donations down pretty soon, so make sure that you guys are getting your donations in. Emily, I see that you donated for a yes/no reading. Since that's a quick yes/no, I'm happy to do yours first while we wait for everyone else to join us. Hey, Eliana, are you in here? If you want to check in with me. Emily, you're just a yes/no, so I'm going to do yours really quickly. Go ahead and just post your question. And then we're going to move on because I don't want to make you wait through all of these people because it's going to be a while before we can get to you. So while we wait for the others to just check in, we'll do your yes/no really quickly. Hey, Eliana, I hope you're having a good night, girl. Oh, let me get some background music going. StreamYard has changed their layout, and I'm have it, and it's just really confusing me. Open. Emily, did you hear me about posting your question? Perfect. All right. I hope that everyone had a good Christmas. If you celebrate, I just am now realizing this is my first time back since Christmas. So hopefully everyone's having a great week. Emily says, ex Matt and you keep going around and around in your relationship. Will they reconcile? Will they reconcile? Will they reconcile? All right, I am getting a no, Emily. I have the Five of Wands and the Knight of Swords in reverse. So I think right now what's going on is that there's just not constructive communication that is happening. I'm getting like, yes, the whole going round and round. Now I do have the King of Swords upright. So like all of the swords are about like the way you're thinking, the way you're communicating. And because the Knight of Swords is reverse, it makes me feel like there's just, you guys are out of your depth. Like I don't think this is a resolve that's going to be able to happen on your own. That there's a lot of feelings of like not being heard, you know. I think that the chat's a little bit behind Emily, so just bear with me because I realize that I'm saying something and then you're typing like from something I said like a minute ago. So I think it's a little delayed. So I'll just get my full thought out and then you can communicate with me whenever you're ready. But there's just a lot of like clashing, opposition, conflict, arguments, potentially. And the Knight of Swords indicates that you guys are out of your depth, that this is not a conflict that will easily be able to be resolved on your own. I have the King of Swords indicating that you might need a third party to come in to help you both effectively communicate to each other. He is not hearing you anymore when you're talking. He's listening to respond. He's not listening to hear you. And having someone else come in as like a mediator might be the only solution here, because it sounds like even if you're saying something to him, he's not going to hear it because he's already tuning you out, and maybe vice versa. And the only way for new information to reach him is for someone else to say it to him. And I think that might be like, you need like a neutral third party. So you need like a counselor, or you need a neutral friend, maybe a friend that's cares about you both, that's like mutually like both your friends, or just somebody that can come in and hear you out, and maybe help mediate the situation. But unfortunately, I don't think this is an issue that's going to resolve on its own. And if you're wanting to know, will you reconcile, I feel like I'm getting a no for this. So you guys would just honestly need like a Hail Mary in order for this to come back together appropriately the way that you're looking for it to happen. But yeah, that is what I've got, Emily. I know that we're a little behind in the chat, so feel free to message me, you know, if you need to or whatever after the fact. All I need now is James or SB to check in with me. If James or SB are here, please check in. If you're not here, I'm going to go ahead and do Eliana's first since she is here in the room, and then we'll get to James and SB. So James and SB, if you're in the chat, check in. If not, we're going to move on to Eliana. Hey, SB, thank you for checking in with me. Emily, you know, I'm not sure if he would go to counseling. It's not the question that I asked. So I really don't know. I think it's worth a shot asking him. if that's something he would consider. SB, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. All right, SB, I am reading your questions right now. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. That's crazy, but good. Oh, he's long distance. Wow. Okay. Girl, this is crazy. What a synchronicity. All right, let's pull some cards for you. Thoughts and feelings. You let that go. Okay. Yeah, I do remember. All right, oh my gosh. Okay, so you have the Lovers first. You're welcome, Emily. You're right about me not feeling that person or something I wouldn't like. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I wasn't getting like great vibes here. Mm-hmm. Thoughts and feelings. Thoughts and feelings. All right, so the first thing I'm getting is that he finds you to be like a solution for him. So maybe like an answer to his prayers. We have the 9 of Cups. So, you know, this talks about wish fulfillment. It talks about a wish coming true. But the word I heard was solution. So I feel like he's thinking to himself, like, this is what I have been looking for. This is crazy. But solution also may play into the whole, how do we fix this problem that we now have, because we're very interested in each other, but we are not close to each other, you know? So he could also be thinking very solution based right now as well. Okay, Eliana, that sounds great. We can definitely do that. Let's see here. Okay, so his feelings for you, we have the Lovers. And so this indicates to him that he feels like kismet. He feels like, what is this like powerful force that feels like it's bringing us together. And the thing is that when you're open to love and you're open to something new, and I think he is, I think he's paying attention to the signs, and this is what it feels like to me. And as we all know, the Lovers talks about a strong, very, very strong or sacred bond, a high level soul connection. But with that comes with things being put to the test. How resilient is your connection? How strong is your connection? And what decisions can you make to bring yourself together? So he probably is thinking quite a bit about the scale. Like I'm seeing scales for some reason. Like I feel like he's kind of putting you in a pros and cons list. But it's almost like the pros and cons list doesn't necessarily apply, because I think that he feels like no matter what, he wants to figure out how to make this work with you. He does feel romantic towards you. He feels sexual desires towards you. He feels that you guys share values, the same values. And I think that he really wants to be in a partnership or in a relationship with you. We do have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. So this tells me that he's a little hesitant to dig or dive deep with you on this, because he feels like he's going to like break his own heart by finding someone at such a that's so far away. But I think that if you guys continue to build this connect, like, here's the thing, I feel like he's just very, very taken by you. It's reminding me of, so there's this, you know how like there's people on social media and like some people will share their relationship. And so there's a really famous by social media standards um, couple who are in America, but the husband is Italian and the wife is American, and they're like really, really well known. So if you haven't seen this, like, this is what it's reminding me of. But basically they met in Italy, and he just couldn't get his mind off of her. He like just kind of fell in love with her fairly instantly, and he ended up moving to America. He got married to her, moved away from his family to be with her because he didn't want to be without her. And basically their social media is just like funny moments between them. People really enjoy him because they think he's like a sweetheart. But basically, like, that's the feeling I'm getting here, is like this Italian that's like, nothing's going to keep me away from her. That it feels like, I don't know if I should invest, but greater forces beyond my control are not going to get in the way of me being with this woman. You said he's Italian. Oh, he's Italian? Oh my gosh. Well, there you go. He's Italian and you're American. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. I'll have to send you a link so you can see what I'm talking about. But that's kind of what this is reminding me of. And so his very next, very Italian, oh my gosh, that's so cute. So like basically he's thinking solutions based. He's going, what is the compromise we can make? What agreement can we have? Can we set a plan in motion to like pursue this connection? Because I don't think that he really wants to let you go, and I don't think that he wants to say goodbye. And you are coming through as the Empress for him. So he is like, this is the woman that's my dream girl, like my ideal person. When the Empress comes through, it means that someone thinks very, very, very highly of you, that nobody can, what is the word? Nobody can compare to you. So like that song, Nothing Compares to You. And I think he's surprising himself at how much like fun he's having with you, especially someone who maybe he's just met. I think it's catching him a little bit by surprise. But I think that he's saying, I'm just going to let it, I want to make a plan. I want to get something in motion that feels like we are like being proactive about this connection. But at the same time, I'm also going to not try to force anything either. So it's like he wants to do his part, but he's like meeting the universe halfway. He's saying, I will do what I can, but you got to meet me halfway, universe. You know, like I'm going to resign to fate, but at the same time, I'm going to take some action that I feel is necessary in order for this to work. So I think for him, he's like, it's a little too soon to tell, but I think that he wants to see what can come from this. You guys, did you talk about a passport? Like the fact that you already have one or something like that? Because I feel like I'm hearing like passport, something about a passport. And I think this might be something that he is happy to know, because maybe he thinks that you can visit him sooner or something like that. Or that it will be like easier to make this work for you to go visit him. You need to renew it. Okay. I have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, and I also have the Three of Wands. So I think the main objective is not having unrealistic plans. He's very, very against like not planning for this, because number one, it's expensive. You know what I mean? It's expensive to fly. So I think he's thinking to himself cost as well. I don't know if he is willing to help you pay for this. Or maybe me, like, you know, help you pay like halfway or pay in full. But I do have the Six of Pentacles, which indicates like money stuff. So I think that he's trying to figure out like how soon he could do this, because you guys would need to set money aside in order to get you out there. I think the other part is that he doesn't want whatever kind of spark you guys have to like fizzle out either, because it might be a while before you get to see each other again. He just doesn't want to miss out is what I'm getting. So there's a lot going on in his mind, but as far as how he feels for you, like you're his dream girl, he feels like he's really found something significant here with you, and that he feels very successful. I think it's actually very interesting too that while he was in the area, he decided to go on a dating app. I wonder if he's looking for an excuse to live in the States or something. Because I think you said he's near family in the States or something like that. Yeah, family. So maybe he would like to be closer to them. So he's like, if I can find a reason, then maybe I can make this work. All right. Let's take a look at how things will go once he goes back to Canada. How things go when he goes back to Canada. Wow, I think he's going to do whatever he can to get you out there, SB. I really do. How things going to go once he goes to Canada. All right, well, we have the Nine of Cups again, so I think things are going to go well, or as well as they can go, which indicates to me a lot of communication that's still going to be going back and forth. We have the Ten of Pentacles, so that tells me that he intends on being in your life for a long time. So, you know, take that as at face value, but what that indicates to me is he's not going anywhere. Like, I don't see him planning on ghosting you once he gets there or anything. This is not his intention. His intention is to keep the communication going. So whenever I see the Ten of Pentacles, it indicates to me that he does not have an exit plan. Okay. Like, his intentions are to continue to talk, continue to pursue you, and communicate. I'm actually seeing FaceTime communication. So this isn't just a texting type of relationship. This is one where you guys are actually communicating on the phone face to face. Let's see. Like, I'm almost getting like long phone calls off on FaceTime, like where, you know, you're just doing normal day-to-day stuff and he's doing normal day-to-day stuff, but you guys want to act like you guys are together. So like you might be cooking dinner, but he's like hanging out with you on FaceTime while you cook dinner, or like you're cleaning or something like that, and he might be like doing work or whatever, and like you both are just kind of hanging out and just feeling each other's presence, almost as if you guys were in the same room. It's like I feel like he wants to continue that kind of experience with you, where he feels like he can be still around you even though it's not in person. So yeah, I'm getting a lot of FaceTiming. I also feel like he's the type of person that's going to be extra honest with you. Like, I think he's going to be very, very direct, very matter of fact. He doesn't like hiding things, is what I'm hearing. So he's going to go like almost to the extreme to be very transparent with you. So that way you don't feel like he's hiding something. I think he really, really wants you to trust him. Lots of planning that's going to be going on while he's there, while he's back home or where he lives. He seems like a very cautious person, full of life, but still cautious. He said he would move there for work once he's done with his contract. Well, that's cool. That's very, very cool. So yeah, I mean, I think he likes the States, and I think that let's put it this way, I don't think he would ask you to move unless you wanted to. I think he is fine being well traveled. And I think that he would be fine planting his feet in the States. I think that he will. But yeah, I mean, I'm getting like in his mind, in his mindset, that he doesn't have any intentions on like walking away. Like he right now is very, very interested, very engaged in this connection. But he's also being realistic about the distance and how it's not necessarily ideal. But I don't think that he's going to let that stop him if it means being able to pursue this connection with you. There's something too that like he specifically wants to show you around Canada. Did you say that you've never been to Canada? Have you been to Canada before? Because I feel like there's something that he wants to show you while he's there, almost like you've never seen it before. Yeah, that's fine. If you want, I can do a mini reading for you. You never been, but you'd like to go. Wow, that's interesting that he has family where you are and you have family where he is. But yeah, there's something here where he's like, I want to show her like Canada. Does he know that you've never been before though? Because I feel like he knows that you haven't been there. How will he treat her in a relationship? How will he treat her in a relationship? Eliana, you're next. And if you want to post, feel free to do so. Okay, perfect. How will he treat her in a relationship? How will he treat her in a relationship? Oh my gosh, I'm getting almost like he wants to surprise you. Like he'll be surprising you quite a bit. We have the Eight of Wands in reverse. So this indicates like action that's hidden. So what that's telling me, and it's like next to the Six of Pentacles of generosity. So it's like actions that are hidden with generous motivation. So that's what I mean by like surprises. And it also indicates to me that in the beginning, like before he's able to come to be with you full time, I think he will try to surprise you with things from a distance. So he might send you flowers and they might arrive at your doorstep, or he might surprise you and just end up like surprising you with the gift of himself, and trying to find like as many opportunities as he can to return to you, and that will be a motivation because he just wants to be near you and be around you. Eliana, I have your question. Definitely lots of gifts and generosity. It's interesting to me, SB, because I feel like he's the type of person that is very careful and wise with his money. But when it comes to you, he's very, very generous. So you must be, all I have to say is you must become a very special person to him in a relationship, that he is so generous with you, that he's like, you need money, I'll send it. You need help, I'll send it. If there's something that you want, I'll get it for you. Like I don't think he's a naturally frivolous person. I think he's very, very frugal. And I think that you just must like, I don't know, do something to him where he's like, I want to spoil her. Let's see, how is he going to treat her in a relationship? I see a lot of trying to get away with you and you alone. I think he likes one-on-one time. I think quality time is probably important to him above a lot of other things. And so it tells me that he kind of wants to take you and sneak you away from like to go do something. Like he might try to do like plan a getaway for you or something like that, where it's the two of you together. Or he might just want to, or he might prefer spending time with you alone, is what it's telling me. Not that he doesn't want to socialize, not that he minds going out and doing things every once in a while, but I think his happy place is like at home with you, or doing something with you where you guys are spending quality time together. And I think that there's going to be different stages of your relationship is what I'm hearing. So like the first year or something like that, your relationship's going to look one way. And then like the second year, it's going to look a different way. And then the third year, like that's not an exact timeline, but it's basically like stages is what I'm getting for your connection. And so each stage he's going to adjust and acclimate to whatever the new normal is for you. But the one bottom line is that he wants you to feel like you are a priority to him. He wants you to feel like he thinks about you even when you're not around. That he's as transparent with you as he can be. That you guys are able to keep like the playfulness alive, because I think he likes the idea of fantasy and role playing and things like that. So he likes having fun with you in that way. He doesn't ever really want things to get boring. Not that you have to feel like, oh my God, if things are routine, he's going to be bored of me. It's more like he wants you to be enjoying yourself too. So being playful, having fun, tapping into your inner child is definitely going to be important for your connection in his eyes. And then I think also he doesn't want you to feel abandoned or disappointed. So he's going to do what he can to like rejoin you or like unite with you again as often as possible. So yeah, that's what I've got, SB. Let me know if you have any questions about that. You're very welcome, SB. You'll have to let me know about this one because I feel good vibes from him. So you'll have to keep me posted how he goes. Okay. Oh, you're listening while you clean. Perfect. All right, we are shuffling for you now. All right, last I checked, you, I believe, had said that you guys have a date scheduled. Let's see, what are his next actions? Yay. Okay, perfect. Set a boundary. Oh, I got it. Okay. Was he getting a little too fresh? So, so I do see that actually coming through. Is it's like an abrupt stop is what it felt like to him. The tower is here, so I think that he's worried that he might have, I don't know if the word is taken things too far or blown this up. So because I have the tower in the world and I know that you can read tarot. So like that might be to you also like that boundary being set because it indicates like before this gets out of hand. I think the main thing is he just doesn't want to. I think he's worrying about upsetting you maybe, or worrying about, oh my God, did I push too hard? Did I overstep my boundaries, like, or overstep hers? So the tower here indicates to me that you kind of like put an end to something because it's next to the world and the world talks about ending. So like you put something to an end. Maybe potentially you wanted to kind of nip it in the butt before like things started happening, or maybe I don't know. Yeah, the tower just kind of indicates to me like I think he knows that you guys are okay. But I think that he's like how do I even word this? I think he's like kind of, it's like I know the feeling, but I don't know how to describe it. Like, you know how when you think you're doing something very innocently, you think that you are just being playful, maybe funny, kind of jokey, kind of like curious, and you really aren't trying to, like, it's almost like he was caught off guard or something like that by the reaction that he got from you, and he's like, oh shit, did I ruin this? That's what it is. He's like, did I ruin this? Like, I hope I didn't. Like, I hope like I didn't just completely blow everything up. He asked why you didn't post on social media. I told him he wouldn't let it go. He kept pushing you, and finally you had to share something pretty private that you never should have shared, and he had stopped pressing for it. Oh shit. I really think he thinks that he, like, yeah, he's like, did I ruin this? Like, I don't know. He's just like, shit. Yeah, definitely seeing that there. Okay, let's move on. Did he apologize to you? Because I feel like if he didn't, he's going to. That's another action I'm getting is like olive branch, some kind of like gift. I don't think that he wants to bring the subject up again. But if he didn't apologize, I think he's regretting that. So he's going to want to. If he did, he's hoping that smoothed things over. Like, I feel like he wants to be like, my bad. Like, I didn't handle that well. I didn't think I was doing anything wrong, but I realized that, like, I overstepped. So he'll be apologizing. I think that he's like regretting it inside. I think he's going to try to do something to show you that, like, he realizes that bothered you. But the thing is, Eliana, is that I think he's worried about even bringing the subject matter up again. I really, really do. Like, I think he's trying to think of like a tactful way to say, we don't have to talk about this again. I just want you to know that I am sorry for pushing you to that extent. I think really it just caught him by surprise. I just don't think that he thought that this was going to turn into what it was. So we also have the Six of Cups. So this indicates to me that, yeah, he's worried. Yeah. This indicates to me that he has every intention of goodwill and kindness towards you, and getting together with you again, because the Six of Cups is reunion. So, or maybe not even again, maybe you guys have never gotten together before, but he intends on coming together with you, uniting with you, union, hanging out, spending time. That's still on the books for him. Next actions. So something is telling me that there's a part of him that is still wondering. I think he thinks you guys are okay. So I think that he has every expectation that you guys are still going to go through with your date. But I think there is a part of him that is like, or is this still, I hope this is still on. Are we still on? Like, he just wants to know about you. You know, he just wants to learn more about you. You haven't, and it's going at a pace where it feels safer to you. Okay, so that's good. I think, and I know that you're looking for actions, I promise. I'm going to see if I can get anything else, but I am also just getting impressions from him too. And I think that he is in fear that not only did he offend you, but that you are looking at him differently. The thing is that he's saying, I know that I have that type of personality where I can be a little much, like, but it's genuinely coming from a good place. It's sometimes it's, you know how like when people, this is a weird analogy or whatever, but it's like when someone doesn't know how to stop drinking, like they think that they're fine and they keep going and going and going and they think it's fine, and then all of a sudden they're like, shit, that was one too many. I think that's how he is. I think that he comes from a genuine place of interest, and I feel like he thinks that like it's fine until it's not. And I think that's not the first experience that he's had like that. But I think that it was the first experience he's had with a reaction as of yours. And I think you were trying to be as like stern and gentle as possible, but also like, let's not do that again, you know? And I think that's gotten him kind of shaking in his boots. And I think that he's like, genuinely did not mean to offend her, and now I'm worried that she's looking at me differently, or there's going to be something like weird between us. He didn't mean bad, but just stop. That's a funny way to put it. I know. I mean, I just say what spirit gives to me. I'm like, because, you know, I like making comparisons, because sometimes for me it's hard to articulate a certain circumstance, and the only thing I can do is just compare it to something else that's similar to it to make sense. Something I am getting is that he feels like his hands are tied a little bit. Yeah. I know you understand. He feels like his hands are tied a little bit. So, this is the thing, and this is not significant, but I just want to bring it to your attention. He may take more of a backseat in terms of your connection. I think it's because he's thinking to himself, because like, remember I told you that I'm not sure if he's the kind of person to take the lead really. And I think that in this circumstance that he did try to take the lead and he did try to initiate a conversation with you and it did not go well. I feel like this is kind of backfiring on him. And I feel like just be prepared for the possibility that he may try to have you, or like not take the lead even more now, like take more of a backseat while he tries to get to know you. It doesn't mean that he's not going to change. And so I don't want you to write him off just yet. I think that he needs to get to know you better, to understand you better, to know more intuitively how to be with you. And so dating is going to be more like a learning curve. But I think that once he's figured it out, he will be able to get back in that front seat again. He may not be driving immediately, but I think he'll be in the front seat at least. But I think right now he's kind of like, oh, that did not go well. I don't want that to happen again. The other day you were giving your best friend a reading and Spirit was giving you measurements. Are you a mathematician suddenly? Oh my God, that's so freaking funny. Look, you have to take the impressions however it comes to you. It's like whatever you see first. You know what's funny too is like I started this journey as more on the clairsentient side. And then it became claircognizance was like the strongest thing for me ever. And it's been like claircognizance, like I just know things and I don't know how I know them, but I just do. And it just happens. And I don't know what the heck I'm connecting to, but it's like the words are coming into my brain and they come out of my mouth. However, there are certain times where I'm getting clairvoyance, where I just get an impression in my mind. And this message about the alcohol thing, that came in almost like a double message. Like I got the visual for it, and then I also got the impression of it together at the same time. So you just have to take it, you know? You sort of take it how it comes. But yeah, it does feel like a learning curve for him. I guess with that, I just want you to know as his next action is that even if that's happened to you where you've gotten like it in different ways, That's so funny. Instead of like one at a time. But yeah, I mean, I feel like for him, action wise, like, this is what I don't want, okay? I want you to give him a chance. I want you to go on a date with him. And I know that I have said before that I don't know how much of a lead he's going to take. But at the same time, because of what has recently happened between you guys, I do feel like he will back up even more now. And I don't want you to think that that's a regression. I don't want you to go, wow, I wanted him to take the lead and now he's even more in the back seat than he was before. And then you go, you know what, this just isn't going to work, because he needs time to build that courage back up again and learn you to feel more confident about getting back in that position of taking charge. So just like, I don't know, I guess just be very open to anything that could happen, and like, don't let it scare you off because of that specifically. Especially with just saying words you don't even understand. Yes, that happens to me too. Like, I'll say some word I've never used in my vernacular ever before. And I'll be like, why am I hearing this word and what does it even mean? I'll like Google it and I'm like, wait, no, that actually applies. That makes a lot of sense. So I'm like, I'm hearing this word and I know I've heard it before, but if I'm getting a word that I don't even know what it means and it fits, that to me is just like a telltale sign that's spirit. Like, that's not me. But yeah, so like, that's what I mean, because I'm getting like a lot of imagery for him of like his hands being tied, him feeling like he just really needs you to take the lead, because I think he really likes you, Eliana, and I just don't think that he wants to rub you the wrong way. I think that it didn't scare him, but he was kind of like, damn, like, I wasn't even trying to make her mad. Like, I was just trying to get to know her, and like, I blew it, and like, and because he didn't see it coming, he's worried, because he's like, what if I do it again? Because I don't know what I did wrong. So like, he's, and also too, if his next actions are like not asking you as many questions, like, that might be a thing as well, because he might just let you do most of the talking or asking because he's like not sure. But what you guys could do, which is kind of cute and funny, is you could let him know that you love the fact that he wants to get to know you better. But if it starts to get too personal, just let him know you'll tell him. Just be like, I'll tell you if it's too personal, or you can come up with a funny inside joke, like a code word. You could say turtle or something. Like, if I say turtle, it means just let it go. Turtle, or just some random word that means something to you both. Because here's the thing, like, he needs to know when to stop, but at the same time, you don't want him to be too scared to like not ask you questions, because then how do you guys get anywhere? So he needs almost like a safe word or something. Yeah, it's really hard sometimes to deal with those types of people. What I'm getting is that it's his mentality. He has like a imprisonment mentality where he can get stuck in a loop really easily, because I have the 8 of Swords here. This is his mindset. It's like he can't let things go. It's very difficult for him to do so. And if that's complicated for you, this is a part of his personality. This is something that he will continue to do. It is a sign of intelligence to continue to ask a question over and over until you get a sufficient answer for yourself, because you can hyperfixate on certain things, but it's because you are trying to fundamentally understand. However, sometimes people like this don't understand social cues, and like, I don't know, it could be like he could have a form of autism. I don't know. But I feel like this is like a part of who he is that he's just a very interested person and he likes to do deep dives. And it's like, if something is fascinating to him, it's not necessarily always going to be fascinating to other people. But that's just a part of who he is. But it doesn't mean that like that's how every day is going to be. This might be like a once a month thing, everything else going really, really well indicates to me that this is like a good match. I feel like for him, I just cut the deck. I have the Queen of Pentacles. He's looking at you as a really good match for him. And he feels like you're actually, you're making him really, really excited to socialize again, though. We have the Four of Swords in reverse, which talks about like coming out of isolation and like rejoining the world. It's like you're giving him inspiration and like a reason to like get back out there. You said it's actually really cute. You're starting to think there's some autism in this. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, hopefully it's just a little sprinkle in there, but not anything crazy. I hyperfixate myself, so it's like I understand it. I think it's partly a Gemini stellium. I think it's partly maybe ADD. My husband thinks that I'm on the spectrum, but I'm like, I'm not. Maybe I am. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. He makes jokes all the time because he calls me his spectrum honey, but that's because it's like his joke for me. He's like, oh, my little spectrum honey, whenever I get like overstimulated. Like if I hear something that he can't hear, or I can smell something that he can't smell. But I think it's more like my intuitive side, where I have good pattern recognition, and like I can sense things. They're more heightened for me than they are for the normal person. But he's like, oh, my spectrum honey. I'm like, shut up. But yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm getting, Eliana. I think he wants to continue this with you. He's looking at you as a really good match. But he can be stubborn. He can be. But he's also the type of person that's going to stand up for you, fight for you, like be in your corner. I mean, like, I think that he would be like a really good supporter for you. And like he would root for you, you know, even if things didn't work out, he would still like be happy for you and root for you. So he has a lot of good qualities. You're really welcome. You've been overstimulated lately. I actually got these things called loops for Christmas, which I haven't been in a circumstance where I needed to use it. And I not on a normal basis. However, there have been times where I've gotten really overstimulated by a lot of noise, and these are basically just like headphones, but they don't play anything. They just they're more like, you know how you can put earplugs in that kind of like dim sound or completely block out sound? It's kind of what it is. But this kind that I specifically got is like I can still have conversations, but it reduces the noise. And I'm really excited to have them at my reach, my access, so that way if I'm ever in those kinds of circumstances, I can use them. He is, yeah, I can definitely tell he's very protective, very much a supporter. And like I feel like he would be in your corner. So I feel like if someone said something to you that you were frustrated, you needed to vent to him about something, like he would be like, oh, hell no. Like he'd be like, tell me what happened. And I think that he would very much like stand up for you, and he would like be able to be your person. Your dad has some like that? Yeah, my sister actually told me, she was like, I don't know. I feel like if I'm overstimulated, she was like, I think having something in my ears would really, really bother me. And I was like, you might be right, but they're only $30. And if I don't like them, I don't like them. It's not going to be the end of the world. But if they help me, then that's good. And it's like I don't have a circumstance where I have to use them every single day. It's just if I'm somewhere loud or somewhere like overwhelming, I have a way to kind of escape. Or even if I'm around just like noisy people, like at a family event, and I just want to like step aside, So I'm excited. I haven't had a chance to use them yet, but hopefully I will, and I can let you know how they go. But anyways, Eliana, that's what I've got, friend. You're very welcome again. I still have to read for... Oh, Deep just donated. Let me do Deep's reading real quick, and then I am going to sign off for the night. Because I'm going to do James offline. Oh, in a movie theater. Yeah, because those can be like super loud for no reason. You're welcome, Eliana. Have a good night. Deep, if you're in here, please check in with me. Hey there, what's your question, Culture? I always forget that you go by Culture. Because I think the first time, oh, I see you posted your question on your payment. I remember the first time I think you donated, you had a different name. All right, you have a friend that's appearing in dreams. Is there any message regarding what you need to release to let go regarding? Okay. Let's take a look again. Eliana, thanks again. Have a good night, friend. What do they need to release? What messages do you have about this? What do they need to let go? You need to let go. Wow, this is actually crazy because I have every single card that means, it literally means letting go. Oh yeah, you're totally fine. I'll try to remember that moving forward. I forget. Okay. So we have the World, which indicates walking away, letting go, finding closure. But it does talk about things being on a loop. So what that tells me is that you think you're over it, and then something happens and you realize you're not. And then you think you're over it, and then you realize that you're not. And you think you're over it, and then you have a dream, and then you realize you're not. So it's like there's something here that makes me feel like mentally, like in your conscious mind, you're like moving on from it, but for whatever reason something sucks you right back into it. And so now there's a couple of things. This could indicate partly that your friend that you are having these dreams about is also having the same issue that you are. This friend also thinks that they've moved on, that they're over it, whatever, and then they're like suddenly you pop into their conscious mind again. Now, it does get less and less over time, but I think what's happening is you guys are playing into each other's energies. And we have the 5 of Cups in reverse, which talks about moving forward and moving on and healing. But the main thing is the need for you to forgive this person, even if they don't deserve it. Forgiveness is for yourself. And forgiveness is a very broad term that I'm using right now. If this person didn't do something that's like exactly bad to you, it could just indicate forgiving the fact that the connection served its purpose and no longer is needed. If this person did something to you that you feel you are owed an apology for, maybe like just forgiving them anyways, because as they say, forgiveness is for you. It's not for the other person. Because if we don't forgive, we're holding that poison in our body. And this has to do with the need to accept what has happened and know that you probably aren't ever going to get that closure that you're looking for, but needing to provide it for yourself. And this is going to require you to do something that's meaningful to you. Some people think that's therapy. Some people think that's writing a letter to that person and getting all of your feelings out and burning it or burying it. And then some people think that is like a ritual. So some people do like cord cutting rituals where they'll burn 2 candles. One has your name on it, one has their name on it. You tie a string between the 2 candles and light it on fire and let it completely burn out and break the cord. It's like a visual exercise. And then some people think they want to do energetic work. So they go to a Reiki healer or some type of other holistic healer to disconnect them from that energy. Or there's like also visual exercises through meditation. It's like you have to figure out what you think is going to be best for you in order to tell your conscious mind and your subconscious mind that you no longer want any kind of contact or cord or whatever from this person. You want to completely disconnect from them. I don't necessarily think it's something significant that's tying you to this person. I just think it's residual energy that you still have left over. And it's regarding like this underlying feeling that you still want to be tied to them for some reason, that you need to be like, you need to accept and you need to come to the confirmation that you want to let this person go. And that's really what it is that there's some part of you, whether conscious or unconscious, you still want to be tied to this person and that this person still wants to be tied to you. So you have to do your part to disconnect it, because if you think about them, they are going to think about you, and then you're going to think about them, and then they're going to think about you, and it's going to become this thing where it's like you guys just can't get each other out of your energy, and like they might be reaching out energetically, or you might. So we really, really need to like throw it all away, get rid of it, do something for yourself that can completely like cleanse you of that person's energy. That's what I'm getting, because you feel trapped by this situation or confined in some way, and that's limiting you. So do what feels natural to you, do what feels right to you, and break that energy connection. Eliana, hey. Fast ass confirmation because he responded and apologized. Oh my God, that's so funny. Yay, I'm so glad that I was tapping into his energy appropriately. Oh my gosh. Wow, that's so fast. We were just talking about him. Yeah, disconnect from the magnet culture. Anything that you know of that connects you to this person, do what you can to like get rid of it. And just know there will be aftershocks. Even if you feel like you've completely disconnected from this person, it's just like an earthquake, there's going to be like residual stuff. So you might have a dream in a week or two, but know that what you're doing to clear this person's energy is working. You just have to believe that, because your mind is incredibly powerful. And just know that there might be like little aftershocks where you still think of this person, but it doesn't mean that the work that you're doing didn't work. It just means that your reality needs some time to catch up with your intentions. Okay? Awesome. You're very welcome. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the night. Have a good evening.